guys, welcome to my Flash episode review. My thoughts on tonight's episode of Flash titled The Nuclear Man. And really good solid episode. I love that they're finally bringing Firestorm into the show as not just like some recurring character like that's in the background for like the episodes. I'm glad that now he's kind of here in the forefront of the show. And it's nice that this episode didn't really feature, like a villain of the week type thing. And to see, Robbie Amell come back as Firestorm. And they finally, they gave him a haircut and everything, make him look all good and pretty. And I thought, in my opinion, this is the best performance I've seen Robbie Amell give, at least of his that I've seen. Because I've seen him in stuff here and there. And he did that Scooby-Doo stuff, Cartoon Network a while back. And for a long time, I just thought he was he wasn't bad. But he is what he is. But this episode showed that he actually does have some good acting chops. And it was cool seeing that side while he's portraying the character of Ronnie Raymond. He's also having to play almost two characters at once, and I thought that was pretty cool. And it really showed that he does have what it takes to be a real actor. And I saw that in his performance tonight, and that was something I liked a lot. But tonight, I got to be honest, I got to talk about something that's been bothering me, and this might piss off some people, but I got to be honest. I'm hating what they're doing to Iris as a character. Because now they're just using her as Barry's love interest. And I understand that's kind of what they set her up to be, but it's same time she's they just revolve her around Barry. They don't really give her a chance to let her do her own thing without coming back to Barry at some point, And it really, really, really pissed me off in this episode because here Barry is starting to go out with this girl who works with Iris. And, of course, Iris has to bring up the fact that Barry had feelings for her. And anytime they mention Linda or they're around Linda, they have to show that Iris is somewhat jealous. And that pisses me off. Because it's okay, if you don't really... If you don't see Barry as anything more than a friend, then don't let the fact that he's trying to move on from you bother you. I don't blame the actress or anything. I don't like what the writers are doing with her as a character. Because I think she has a lot more potential. And I don't think it's fair the way they're treating her. Because I think she needs to stand more on her own as a character, because it's pissing me off what they're doing with her, and it's not fair to the actress. It's not fair to the character, because Iris West so far has been a good character, but now it's they're making her just revolve around Barry because she's this endgame love interest, and it's not fair. And it's also not fair because that's one of the reasons why they brought in the Linda Park character. And that, I think it's cool that they're bringing a character from the Flash's, the Flash's side of the DC universe into it. But it bothers me for a few reasons that they brought Linda Park in. One, the big thing is that, she's only being used to make Iris jealous. And I hate that. And again, it's not fair to the actress who's playing Linda Park. It's not fair to Candice Patton who's playing Iris. And the second thing is that in the comics, Linda Park is Wally West's wife, or that's his love interest in the comics. So that really makes you question: do they even have a plan for Wally West at this point? With Arrow, this time in Arrow's first season, we didn't know they were going to bring Roy Harper into it. We all kind of assumed Thea was going to be the Speedy of that world. And then they brought in Roy Harper, but with this show, especially with them bringing in Linda Harper, who's around Barry's age, that makes me think, well, they're not bringing in Wally West, and if they do, is he not gonna have a love interest? What's that whole thing going on? But going back to my main point, it's not fair how they're treating these female characters, because they're not treating them like they treat some of the rest of the characters. Even with last week, as much as I enjoyed seeing Barry and Caitlin going out and having fun for once, can two characters that are straight just enjoy each other's company without there being some sort of sexual tension, or the writers implying that they have there's romantic interest for each other? Can't two characters again be platonic friends? Especially in this it bothers me because I feel the writers are almost forced to do that because it's on the CW. And it's just, it bothers me. I wish they would just treat female characters, especially, just treat them as any other character. Don't make them sidetracked as just a love interest, or just focus on their relationships with between them and other people. That's not fair. I think they need to be treated as equally as the male characters do. And I don't think that's what they're doing with Linda Park. I don't think that's what they're doing with Iris right now. And it's really starting to piss me off. And it pulls me out of the show, honestly. And I love the show. And it has a lot of good things going for it. And it's one of my favorite shows right now. But I don't like what they're doing with these characters of Iris and Linda. Because they're just using them to further along Barry's love life. And I don't think that's fair. Because just there's more things going on. Like, there's more interesting things about Barry than just him having a girlfriend, you know? I mean, yes, like it's nice seeing him with someone, but still, I just don't know how they're treating those two female characters. I don't, and I feel like Arrow had the same kind of problems going into it. And you would think that like with the writers of Arrow, like them using some of the same writers from Arrow, they'll kind of learn from their mistakes. And I don't know. I hope they bring Iris to a better place by the end of the season. Because this is the way they're going, by just making her a love interest and not giving her much depth at all, then that's going to make me mad and give me reasons to not watch the show. Because I like the show a lot, and I want them to treat Iris better as a character and not just make her Barry's love interest. So that's my thoughts on that. And those are my big things about the episode tonight. Other than that, I thought it was a really, really good episode. And I love what was going on between just the whole Firestorm thing and them investigating and looking into it now, like with Martin Stein like being in control of Ronnie's body. Excuse me. And again, it's cool seeing that and seeing Firestorm kind of brought to fruition. And the cool thing at the end when like they lashed that thing on him and it stretched out and it kind of looked like the Firestorm costume from the comics. I thought that was kind of cool. Excuse me. Because in the comics, the Firestorm costume is kind of ridiculous, and it's kind of hard to pull off in live action. So it's nice, like they did like the whole subtlety thing with the whatever the separator was they put on at the end of the episode, and I kind of liked certain scenes, like as much as like I went on my little rant about the whole Iris and Linda thing. I did enjoy like certain interactions between Linda and Barry, because I mean like it's kind of forced chemistry, but I feel like the characters do like enjoy each other's company and all that. It's kind of cool seeing like Linda kind of like defend herself and she's like, I mean like Barry does keep giving her excuses and she's like, you know, like I'm not gonna put up with this, like whatever, like I mean whatever, like we're done, we're out. And it's kind of cool seeing her like not just be like just another like throwaway female character or whatever, and that she was actually able to like kind of like hold her own to an extent. And I mean, I like the actress. I just hope the writers treat the character better. But yeah, I liked like the interactions between her and Barry, a few of them. And in that last scene was kind of cute, minus the whole Iris being jealous thing. And going off of just one of my favorite scenes in this episode was when Caitlin was asking if she could talk to Ronnie, and Martin Stein's like, it doesn't work that way, I'm sorry. But like I know he loves you, and like that I can feel. And like that was really great, because just and that was a scene that really like I was like sold on Robbie Amell and his acting, because like I felt like the emotion there, and that there's more to the character than just being like another character from the comics. That there's actually like some amount of depth to the character. And I like that a lot. And again, one of my not again, but another one of my favorite things about the episode was the whole Cisco and Joe thing when they were investigating the Barry's mom's murder, and they went back to the house and they have that dumb. I didn't like to use like the lady who owns the house was like flirting with Joe, being like this like I hate. Just get rid of that. Who cares? Like just does everything have to be sexual? Like come on, just. But that lady, I don't know, that bothered me. But it was cool seeing, like them investigating together, because I think like seeing Cisco and Joe together it's an interesting dynamic. It's a different dynamic than like what we've seen on the show for the most part. And finally seeing them investigate, the whole thing with like in this mid-season finale when they mentioned there were two speedsters the night Barry's mom was killed, and now we ultimately find out that other than Reverse Flash, it was an adult Barry there. So for us comic fans, that might lead us to the Flashpoint storyline. And for those of you who don't know, Flashpoint was this big event in the comics a few years back that DC did, where Barry went back in time to stop Reverse Flash from killing his mom, and in doing so, he corrupted the timeline. Now, and like Superman's rocket landed in Metropolis, killed thousands of people. Bruce Wayne was killed instead of his parents, and his mom became the Joker. His dad became Batman. Wonder Woman and Aquaman were at war with each other. They killed millions of people. Wonder Woman took over Atlantis, and Aquaman was like conquering parts of Europe, and like again they're killing millions of people throughout this whole war. And Barry wakes up without his powers, and his mom's alive, and then he's just trying to fix everything. And throughout the whole, it's a really great storyline. And if that's something that they bring on the show, obviously they can't use Aquaman, they can't use Superman, they can't use Wonder Woman, they can't use Batman. So if they do the Flashpoint storyline, how I think they might do it is obviously they can't have Batman and all those characters. So I think what they might be doing is have like Oliver Queen be the one who died before he went on the island, and I'll have Oliver's dad be the Arrow. And these are just my predictions. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. These are just my predictions. And that the League of Assassins might be at war with Argus or something to take place of the war with the Amazons and the Atlanteans. And I don't know, that's just my theory, but it'd be cool if they did it. And it seems like that's kind of what they're leaning towards, this whole Flashpoint thing. So it'll be cool to see if the writers do something along those lines down the line. But yeah, it was cool having that scene when we found out like Barry, went back in time and asked her to bring another aspect of the character, the whole time travel thing. Like it makes me wonder, like, are they gonna bring in the cosmic treadmill? For us comic book fans, again, another thing that you guys might not know if you aren't comic book fans, the cosmic treadmill is something in the comic that the Flash uses. It's just essentially it's a treadmill that the Flash uses to run back in time. That's it. And it was one of the things that was used in Flashpoint when he initially went back in time to stop his mom. But to get back to the show itself, again, I think this is a really, really solid episode. And yes, I have my problems with the whole relationship aspect of it with Linda and Iris, and I really hope they fix that moving forward, because I don't want them to just make these characters just revolve around Barry, and just because they have like they're female, they have to be of a love interest. I hate that. I'm really not digging that at all. And as much as I love the show, I just please write these characters better. They deserve it. They deserve to be treated as well as everyone else in the show. I don't think that's fair. But yeah, that's my thing again. Well, I think that's about it. And again, like that little stinger thing at the end with General Eiling from the, episode 5, him needing to catch fire or something. That's just another tease for next week's episode where where Ronnie Raymond and Martin Stein split up, and they're both like themselves again. So it'll be cool seeing how that goes next week. So until next week in my next review, that'll be it for me, and have a good one, guys.